Hi, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you're watching 808 with Clay, where we go live on our Instagram feed, Clay Souza Official, every Monday and Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about the three pillars of an amazing and desirable photography, which are, those pillars are lighting, composition, and posing. Always remember that posing and directing go hand to hand. Right? So if you're watching this on Instagram, hit that subscribe button. I'm sorry, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button there. Subscribe to our channel, because every single day we're uploading new videos with new information in photography, right? And go to our Instagram channel, Clay Souza Official, and follow us over there and be a part of our live. I hope to see you on one of our lives. Okay? Thank you. All right, guys. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? No, I didn't forget to do. I have it here. What I have prepared for today. Tonight we're going to talk about how to pose bigger groups, right? And I'm going to go with the approach that there are a lot of challenges, and we're going to talk about those challenges, and I'm going to show you a bunch of images. And I took a lot of notes here, and I'm going to show a few images, and we're going to talk about challenges, because there's always a lot of challenges, and those challenges can be people who don't want to cooperate, or maybe room, space. You don't have a whole lot of space to shoot. How you deal with that, right? We have had, like, I think one of the worst situations we had, it was a wedding. I couldn't find the images. A wedding where we had, what, like 14, the bridal party was 28 people total, 14 groomsmen, 14 bridesmaids, and a bunch of kids. And there was just not room for everybody. When they ordered the altar, it was an outdoors wedding, and there was no room for everybody. Everybody had to be staggered. So, and these are some challenges sometimes. How you gather those people, how you get everybody to pay attention to you, how do you own the space? Because this is key. Owning the space is key. There are a few technical things, do's and don'ts, that we're going to mention here, and I'm going to show you some examples. We're going to go from large groups, really large groups, to family of 5, right? Because we also photograph families, and let's go from there. So I think the very first one that I have here to talk about is read the crowd. Each event has a different vibe. Each event is different on itself, and you have to read the crowd, right? Some crowds are more fun, some crowds are more serious, sometimes people cooperate, sometimes they don't. How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to manage all of that, right? Because we usually have a limited amount of time. So one of the very first things you need to do is to understand what you're doing, understand the crowd, read the crowd, see how people react. Is it fun? Is it more of a fun crowd? And then you want to do some more fun pictures. Is it more a serious crowd? Then you want to do some more serious pictures. The worst thing ever that happens sometimes is, like, you try to get people cheered up and people are just not having it. Like, it is frustrating, but you can't fight that. Okay. In our line of work, we shoot a lot of weddings, and like I said, we work with, like, big wedding parties and small wedding parties, and we always try to make it fun. But sometimes people are just not fun. They're just not fun. It's what it is, right? And you can try to push them a little bit, but you're never gonna get them to be fun. I remember one time I was doing shooting this wedding, and people were really serious, and I'm trying to break them. I'm trying to, I wasn't pushing, but I was forcing a little bit more than what I usually do, and I shot out there, everything so serious, everything so, and I said, hey, how about this? You get the bride in the center, let's get the bouquet. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, gotta raise the bouquet, yeah, and give me a big yeah, okay? And they're like, oh, no, you're not doing that. I was like, excuse me? No, you're not doing that. I was like, okay. I felt like a clown. I felt like awful. I felt ridiculous, right? I'm trying to do this for you guys, and you guys just like shut me down right away. And I said, okay, all right. And in my mind, all right, let's keep doing the boring stuff, and boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go, right? Now, always remember that if they come back to you and say, hey, this picture to serious, blah, 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 you can go back and say, this is what it was. This is what the wedding party was, right? Hey, Marcio. So read the crowd. Don't usually try to do stuff that you don't think people are going to do, because usually, I mean, we can push a little bit. I would say try once, try twice, but if they're not into it, don't force it. And even the pose needs to match a little bit of the mood and the vibe of the crowd. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff, right? So next tip that I have here is like gain control over the situation. This is vital. This is crucial, especially if you are in a crunch. Do not let them have control over the situation, because you're not going to get what you need to get. Bottom line is, on a wedding day, for instance, we shouldn't wed. There's no do-over on a wedding. There's everything else you can do over. I mean, almost everything else you can do over. Weddings, there's no do-over. If you don't get it done there's no other time you're going to get it done. And sometimes you have 20 minutes to do bridal portraits, to do bride and groom, to do family, and there's a large family, and that type of stuff, right? So gain control over the situation. When I get there, when I get to shoot the formals, or we call them the formals, I try to gain control as from the very beginning, from the get-go, right? Bride and groom are out there. I'll go loud. I'm clapping my hands. All right, guys, hey, pay attention to me. And if there's noise, I keep telling them, pay attention to me until everybody's quiet, because I make sure that they know we are on time. We have a timeline. We are on the clock. We don't have time to waste, right? And so when they pay attention to me, I go, guys, we're going to do those portraits, and I know you guys want to go back to the cocktail hour. So the more you collaborate with me, the faster and the easier you're going to go, and you guys can go back to your beer. So let's collaborate, let's cooperate, right? Sometimes, most of the time, you get, yeah, let's do this. All right, let's do this. Get them hype, but now I'm yelling, right? I'm in control. I'm saying you go here, you go there, you do this, you do that. So gain control over the situation. Do not let them gain control. Otherwise, you're not going to get it back. Okay? You have to project your voice sometimes. I mean, this is what it is. We had situation, and what I find, usually guys are a little bit harder on a wedding day, a little bit harder to work with than girls. I mean, girls like taking pictures, guys not so much, right? And I had situations where, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but if I need to be nasty, I'm going to be nasty, because I'm there to work for the bride and the groom. I don't want them to come back to me and say, hey, I don't have those pictures. Where are those pictures? Do you have them? And I don't want to go back and say, no, I don't. Right? We need to make it happen. I just like true story. I remember this. So we're doing this wedding. I think Jeff was assisting me on that wedding. I'm not sure. We did the portraits outdoors, and I have bride and groom, and all the bridesmaids are there, and the guys are talking over there on the other side. And I go like, hey guys, come on, let's do the portraits, come over here, we're not time here, we need to get moving. And they literally would look like 3 steps towards me and stop and keep talking. And I go again, come on guys, let's go, we're not time here, come on, let's get here. Again, 3-4 steps and stop again. All right. And then I got pissed, and I said, hey, listen to me. Everybody was paying attention. Everybody was listening to me. Listen, you guys want to drag your feet here? That's fine. This is going to happen either if you want or not. I can wait here until you guys get here. Now, the longer it takes you to get here, the longer it's going to take you to get you a beer. It's up to you. This is happening, either you're coming or not, right? So, get here and let's get this shit done. And everybody like, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm on a timeline. I don't have time to play games with you guys, right? So sometimes you just have to be like that. Or you just walk away and say, I'm not going to do this. And then you have to deal with bride and groom because you don't have the picture, right? So this is control. I try not to get to that point, but if I have to, I'm going to go there. Definitely going to go there. Again, I work for the bride and groom. And I don't want to be the photographer where they come to me and say, where's my picture? And I say, I don't have it, right? All right. If you have room to back up, this is another one. If you have room to back up, use a long lens, right? A 7-200 if you have room to back up. And zoom as much as you can. Why that? Compression. Remember, I keep talking about compression. One of the biggest one of the greatest features of a 7-200 is compression. Compression means you bring the background closer to your subject. It looks much nicer. You take a picture at 70 with a 7-200. If you take the compose a picture and you have your zoom at 70 millimeter, you take that picture, and if you walk back there, same composition, nothing changed. You just zoom at 200. It's going to be a whole different composition. It's a whole different picture. The background is going to get closer. The background is going to get blurrier. So it makes it much nicer. If you have room, walk back and zoom in. It's always a good thing. Also, be careful with your f-stops, right? Do not attempt, try not to work wide open like 2.8, 2.0, 1.8. It's usually a formula for disaster. You always want to be around 4, 5, 6 because of the depth of field, right? Unless you're a magician and you can get a group of 20 people with their noses lined up perfectly, then you can go wide open. Then you'll get everybody in focus. Other than that, don't try it. Okay? So pick a location. If you have a nice background that you want out of focus, pick a location to do your portraits where they're going to be far away from the background. So even if you are f4, you can still get some blurry on the background. Okay? Think about that. And listen, if they're tight against the wall, if that's all you have, there's no point in going wide open. You're not going to get that wall out of focus, right? Just go f5, 6, f8, whatever it is, because then you guarantee you're going to get everybody tack sharp, right? So let me share one picture here with you to start with. I was talking about read the crowd, right? Let me share this one here, very formal picture. Okay? All right. So this picture here, this gentleman in the center. He is a businessman, very powerful businessman. He's been like in business forever, and for 35 years, Jay Moore, welcome. For 35 years, he has had the same photographer coming in to do one picture for his business cards. It's like one type of deal. You go there, you take the picture and walk away. The photographer has retired, and he called me if I could do the picture. I said, okay. I tried to talk to him on the phone. He couldn't explain how he wanted. One of his helpers called me, explaining the situation, and the conversation went some more like this. He knows what he wants. You go there and you do what he wants, and that's pretty much it. We're like, okay. Do we have any room for creativity? He said, no. He's been doing this for 35 years, every year, and that's how he wants it. He always has the same picture. We had a photographer with us for all these years, and the guy retired. And I was like, okay, no pressure, right? So I get there, have never met the man, didn't know who he was. I got there, and he wanted that picture to be done the other direction, facing the with that back to the lake. Like behind me there's a large lake. and he wants the picture with the lake in the background because he's been doing that for 30 plus years. And I said, well, this is the thing. There's a lot of light back there. The lake's going to be blown out. It's going to be. I tried to explain. He was like having, not having it. And I'm thinking, I'm going to blow this. Okay, what should I do? What should I do? And talk to him and trying to convince him to do something else, at least in the shade. And I told him, let's do this. We're going to do one picture the way I want it. I'm going to show you. And of course, I played a little bit of the emotions. I asked him, how long have you been living here? Oh, I live here for the whole of my life. So my dad built this house. I've been here forever. I love this place, blah, blah. And I go like, this is such a beautiful house. I mean, it would be a shame, it would be a pity not have that beautiful house in the background. And he goes like, it's a beautiful house. I said, yeah, and I mean, it's part of your history, right? It's a part of the history of your family. The house is with the family for a long time. It's the history of your family. So why don't we do this picture with the house in the background? And he asked me, do you think it's going to look good? I said, it's going to look much better if we have the lake. With the lighting conditions that we have now, it's going to look much better if we have the lake. And I told him, I'm going to do a deal with you. I'll take one picture and I'll show you. If you don't like it, we're going to turn you around and do the lake. Deal? He's like, deal. Took the picture, he loved it, went back home, billed, paid, done. One picture. That's what we did there. All right? So this is to illustrate to you, sometimes you don't have a whole lot of control over the situation. Sometimes it's just, things are just what they are, and you just have to deal with, try to do your best. Another one that we do, Isabella, another one that we do every year, we shoot an event for they raise money for cancer research. It's called Pretty in Pink. I shoot the tennis tournament, right? Big group of guys. Those guys don't want to do the picture. They just want to be quick, right? And this, I've been shooting this like for 4 or 5 years now. They already know how it is. Guys, half of you kneel here, the other half stand back there, look happy, hold your rackets, and let's go and do it. Because those pictures, Wonder Woman, love it. Welcome. So those type of pictures, I have like 5 minutes to do them. I mean, I don't have time to mess around. So I have literally 5-6 minutes to do them, because those guys are there, they've been warming up, and then the lady who coordinates, that's picture time. They go, all right, let's do it. Come on, let's go fast. Boom, boom, boom. Now they know me. I have a relationship with them. They know me already. They know how this thing's gonna go. Usually the same number, same guys who are there every year, and they position themselves. Boom, boom, boom. 3-4 shots, done. Right? F8. Boom, 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 everybody's in focus. Done. There's no time for me, there's no energy for me to go and pose them and make sure everybody, the only thing I make sure of, everybody has open eyes. That's why I take like 3, 4, 5 pictures, because if there's somebody with closed eyes at the time, I will swap the faces. But these are the times where, what I was talking about earlier, read the crowd. You don't have time, don't try to, you're going to lose the gig. You're going to do like one time, and that's going to be it. And these are things that we do every year, that helps us. So I like doing this type of events, right? But the same thing, I go there, I'm talking loud, I'm gaining control of the situation. You guys go here, you guys stay here, blah, 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 blah. You kneel, I need 2 more people kneeling here, that type of stuff. And we get it done, 5 minutes, and you're out. They love you. They will love you forever. Another thing that I want to show you, actually, cancel. Hold on. I almost closed the live. Another thing that I want to talk to you about, especially in weddings, I don't know why people want to hug each other, right? It's like they get close and they like put their arms around each other. Well, you're gonna shoot people with no arms. I mean, when they do this, they have no arm. That looks funny, especially if they have suits. The suits get open, stuff. I don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. I advise you not to let that happen, because they're gonna look funny. This is what it is. They're gonna look funny. And when you're shooting, when you're posing, show at least one arm. Let me show you some pictures. Let me share with you some pictures here. Let me see. Let me see this one here. Yeah, see, we're showing at least one arm on everybody there, right? At least where we can see there. This was another challenge. You didn't have a lot of room. A lot of people there, we didn't have a lot of room. In that situation, you stagger, right? Stagger people. Don't be afraid of staggering. You anchor bride and groom in the center, there, anchored, right? And everybody is staggered. Usually what I do, if I'm doing bride and groom, I bring bridesmaids closer to the bride, and then we build out of there, right? If there is like a family, we're going to look mom and dad, we're going to look the oldest, and that. It all depends in height, that type of stuff. But bride and groom in that situation are going to anchor, and you post the females in the front and males in the back. There's always that idea, the male is the protector, needs to be behind, and besides, guys do not care. We don't give a crap about those pictures. So ladies like it, put them in the front, guys in the back. As long as you're showing their faces, it's good. Besides, when you're talking about this, we need to talk about selling. Who has the buying power? Women have the buying power. It doesn't matter how much a man like a picture. If she doesn't like the way she looks at the picture, she's not going to buy it. I mean, period. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what he can say. She's not going to buy it. The women need to buy the picture, and the same way the same way goes the other way around. If she likes the picture and he doesn't, she's going to buy it. Period. That's just the way it is. There's no fighting. We need to be thinking about this stuff when we shoot in groups. Go back into the arm thing. See, you're trying to show the arm. We're trying to show one. Everybody shows at least one arm. Okay, as much as we can. There's another one here. And also, if you're shooting, if you're posing guys, if you're posing a group of guys, hey, Tammy, if you're posing a group of guys, formations, working with formations is really cool, actually. It looks really cool. Let me show you this one here. Right? Formations. Okay? So, groom in the center, everybody in a V shape, everybody showing, everybody has the same position. Guys like that stuff, put their hands down here. I don't know why. It's not a soccer game where you anyway, they like it. I'm not going to fight it. Just do for it, especially for that case there. We do funny pictures, we do stuff, but I'm always try to do formal pictures when I'm shooting weddings. Even like this groom is extremely funny guy. Like the hardest thing on the engagement session, the wedding, was to make him stop like cracking jokes. He was cracking jokes. Actually, the wedding day not as much. It took him a while to. I think he was nervous, but the engagement session was like. I never laughed in a session so much, but at some point you need some serious picture because they want those serious pictures in the album. So I'll just ask him, just give him like 5 minutes serious, and then you can go back to your normal. You go, okay, you take a picture and he will like cracking jokes, right? Formations are always good to do with guys, and when you're shooting male, shoot a little bit below the eye, a little bit lower than the eye, not too low where you can see the nostrils here, but a little bit lower. If you're shooting down up a little bit, just a little bit, it shows them bigger, shows them stronger, shows them more powerful, right? Okay, so how to light large groups. Let's see if we have time. If you don't, we can catch up on the lighting large groups in another live. Okay, so key things here is anchor, find who is your main subject and anchor your main subject. All right, in this case the groom is the main subject, he's right in the front and doing that. Okay, let me see if I have another one here that I can show you. Let me see. Oh, large groups again. Look at this. So a lot of people in there. Look how many people had in there. There's no way I could fit bride and groom on that stage. What do I do? So we go back here and we ask, who is the most important people in here? Bride and groom. bring them closer to the camera, and everybody's back there. When you close your aperture, you do a good like f8, whatever, and they're gonna be in focus back there in the front here. Okay, so this is something staggering. Don't be afraid of staggering, as long as everybody can see everybody. And the way I did this picture, actually I didn't go back there and pose each one of them. I mean, there was no time. We're doing this and they're flipping the room as we're doing this. So they gave us just that little spot there. This is where you can stay. We're going to flip the room. So there's a lot of noise, a lot of things happening at the same time. I don't have time to go back and pose one-on-one. What I tell the people back there, hey, listen to me. If you can't see me, the camera's not going to see you. So make sure you can see me. Otherwise, you're not going to be in the picture. That's pretty much it. And I go, all right, ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, give me a big smile. Come on, let's go. At that point, I'm concerned. I'm worried about the bride and groom, right? This is like red. Nobody's gonna put a picture like that big on the walls. Maybe an album, one of them, but not very likely. At that point, my goal is to make bride and groom to look good, so they like the picture, and everybody like back there. Cause there's no time. There's definitely no time to do that. All right. So anchor the main subject, all right, with posing guys. Watch for hands and fingers popping from weird places. People put their hands in, sometimes, people put their hands in the back and you just see those 4 fingers like coming up here. Don't let that happen. Watch for that. Especially like when people put their hand in the waist, they go around the waist, and suddenly there are like 4 fingers. Oops, sorry. Suddenly there are 4 fingers coming towards the camera, and just the fingers. You don't see the hand. So keep an eye for that. That's very easy to forget. It's very easy to not pay attention to because it's a small detail, but it really sucks when you see that, because if you want to Photoshop that out, it's going to be a lot of work and probably it's not going to look good. So one thing that I have in mind every time I'm photographing, doesn't matter what it is, I'm always thinking, I'm a photographer, I'm not a Photoshopper. Although I'm very well versed in Photoshop and Lightroom, I don't want to be sitting down on the computer taking care of stuff that I didn't take care when I was shooting. And the whole hands, the posing, the fingers coming off from nowhere, it is some things that I can take care of when I'm shooting, so I don't need to worry about them in Photoshop later. Okay, if you're shooting families, let me share. Oh, let me go back one more image. I'm going to show you a sequence of images. This is more like posing, how to get different posing from the same location. Quick, right? Speed posing. Quick. Don't think that you do one pose here and then you take a picture and you need to go over there to do another picture and do another there. Every time. Another there, another picture there, another picture there, another picture. No. Stay in the same location and just change the pose slightly. You don't have to change the whole thing. You can change slightly. I'm going to show a sequence of images, I think 4 or 5 images, I guess, the way I did this in a wedding. And again, I want you to pay attention to the vibe of this wedding, because the vibe was very different. So we have this one here first. You probably have seen this picture on my feed. This one first, right? More serious, more like Vanity Fair type of thing. They dig in the pose, they feeling powerful, there's loud music playing. Same situation as the other picture I was telling you. We're doing this and they're flipping the room around us. There's a lot of noise, people are distracted. I'm having to say, so the bridesmaids are over there, groomsmen are over here talking and laughing out loud, and I'm trying to focus and get them focused. Hello, welcome. Getting them focused, and I'm not getting through, and I have to yell louder and louder, come on guys, stay with me here, blah, 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 blah. I go there and pose each one of them the way I want. This was like I went there and posed each one of them that way. Again, this was not a boring wedding party, so I knew what they wanted. We talked about this. I knew exactly what they wanted, and I wanted to pose them this way. And we did that picture, right? I look back at the camera, and I just say, don't move, right? As far as lighting, for that one, guys, if you're interested, I have one mag box behind me, flat lighting. If you move that light to the side, what's going to happen? The light's going to hit somebody and it's going to cast a shadow on the next person. Then you have to have 2 lights and stuff. And again, I do not have time to be setting up that amount of lights. I don't have time to go there and set up 2, 3, 4 lights to do this. There's no time, right? We had like 10 minutes to do all the bridal party, all the individuals and everything. So not a whole lot of time there, right? So one light set up, one light behind me, high. I'm shooting lights in front, higher than I am. Behind me, just flat lighting them. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, so then we did that picture. Hello, welcome. So we did that picture, and then we start doing, okay, I looked at it and I said, okay, took the picture and said, okay, guys, hang it there. And then, not that what I want to do. I want to change. All right. And then we change a little bit the expression. Brides, I just asked the bride, you guys, back there, keep the same thing. Bride, give me a smile. So get her a little bit of a smile. Now, and then we go and say, all right, guys, and I think I flipped the 2 ladies on the right side or the left side. I don't know which direction you're looking at, to the left of the bride. So I flipped them. Really like, let me go back one so you can see the difference. Let me see here. Is this one here? Yeah. Yeah. So if you look at this side here, if you look at the side, so the 2 ladies on the one is on the front is flipped from one picture to the other. Can you guys see that? So no, I just flipped them. It's a different pose. Look the bride. Look a little bit sideways. Keep your eyes on me, right? And then once I had what I wanted, I just said, now everybody, 1, 2, 3, give me a big, huge smile, right? And that's what we get. So you can see the core of the poses there. I'm not moving people. I'm not changing a whole lot of that, because unless I had like half an hour to do this, I'll probably take them different places and do different portraits of them. But I didn't. So I had like 5, at that point we had like 5 minutes and the coordinator was already on my back, because I was flipping the room. I didn't have a whole lot of time. So in that case, I'm just making small changes, and coming up with different pictures. That's what it is. If I had time, if the location wasn't the way it was, if the spot wasn't the way it was, just picture this, guys. Picture this with me. Like, you have the ceremony, right? This is a stage where they have the ceremony, and the room is being flipped. I had one point of view I could shoot. I couldn't shoot sideways. I couldn't go away because there's people working here and people working here. This is what I had. If I didn't have that issue, I would probably keep them there and just go around them a little bit, bring the light in a little bit. Jeff was assisting me on that wedding. Asked Jeff to bring the light to the side a little bit and just tell them, stay where you are, just keep looking at me. They'll just move their faces, all right? I'll move one side or go back to the other side. Still keeping the core pose the same way, just getting different angles with them moving their faces, right? But I didn't have the luxury. That's what I had to do, and we did that. And then, to make matters worse, we had to bring the guys in, right? Then this was like, yeah, this is the whole bridal party. You see how I'm staggering them? Then I started having issues with, like, okay, there's a lot of people, how I'm going to put these people? So we brought 2 chairs, we sat down 2 bridesmaids, all right, get the partners to lean against the chair like that, the 2 gentlemen on the side, anchoring the whole picture. What their job there is to anchor the whole picture, to kind of frame the picture so your eyes don't go somewhere else. And then I went back there and posed each one of them. Last with bride and groom, don't move, same thing, one flat light, boom, done. I talk a lot. Done. Right? So that's how we get all of this to work. Let me see if I have any more images here to show. I know I separated a bunch of images. Oh, family. Forgot about family. Let's go quickly through family here. Family. All right. Mom and dad anchor kind of in the center here. All right. Look, I want you guys to look at this picture, and I want you guys to look at this picture and see how many triangles can you form on that image. How many triangles can you form on that image? I want you guys to look at that. You see, they're not lined up, right? They're not lined up. I'm posing them in a way where you have this up and down. So, sister to the right of mom, right? Brother behind her, mom, one triangle right there, right? Mom, hubby, son, another triangle. Mommy, mom, husband, the son, the little boy on the other side, another triangle over there, right? Just looking at this here, I have like 3 triangles over here. We can make a lot of triangles. Every time you can make triangles because triangles are pleasing to the eye. There's only one little thing, one thing that bugs me on that picture that I did not pay attention to, and I should have paid attention to. In my opinion, the little boy in a yellow shirt, he's too detached from mom because of the way they have the legs crossed, right? In my opinion, he's too detached. In that case, what I should have done, bring mom a little bit forward and try to fit him in between mom and dad. So he would be a little bit closer to dad, a little bit closer to mom, should show more connection. Because family, when you're shooting families and you shoot groups, it's all about showing and creating connections. All right? So let's go back again. Every time you shooting, you photographing groups, if you have time to pose, you want to create triangles as you pose, right? You see, look at the picture, see how many triangles there. And connectivity, keep them close to each other. The closer they are, the more connection you're showing. And this is a family, right? And you want to show connections. Okay? Another detail on that image that you may have noticed. Notice that I don't have anybody pointing their feet to the camera. There's no feet towards the camera. Why that? Everything that's closer to the camera looks bigger. We don't want things pointing to the camera at that point. If I had the legs stretched towards the camera, their feet would look really, really big. So you can see they have crossed legs. The daughter on the side has the legs from behind, so nobody's pointing anything to the camera. The little dog, what's happening there? You want to catch their attention. This is one thing. Every time they have an animal or they have a baby, what happens is that they keep calling the animal and looking at the animal. Sometimes the animal looks at me and mom's looking at the animal. No, don't do that. You tell them, listen, I will handle the dog. Don't worry about it. I want you guys to look at the camera and looking happy. Don't worry about the dog. I will handle it. And I have, if Dan is with me, whoever is assisting me, I get them behind me, not to the side, behind me, right behind me, calling the dog's name. So the dog's going to look, at the person, is going to look like the dog's looking at the camera. 100% of times, perfect. Same thing with babies. Get somebody with like a squeaky toy behind you, not to the side. If you look to the side, the baby's going to be looking. If they call the babes on the side, the baby's going to be looking at the side in the picture. No, behind you with a squeaky toy, the baby's going to look at you and will pay attention, right? I think I have one more family here to show. Same thing here, a little bit different pose. You see, mom and dad are not in the center. They are a little bit to the side and totally fine. But look at the line that we form with the taller son, the daughter, mom and dad, and the little boy. See how I'm posing mom and dad's hands on the boy's shoulder, showing connection, right? He has his hands in his pocket. We always showing connection. Welcome. So we always showing connection. Mom and dad had their hands on the boy's shoulder. Brothers and sisters are really close. Daughter is close to mom, and I have mom and dad a little bit to the side. Is it my favorite pose? No. A lot of times I want to bring them, mom and dad, closer to the center, but some variation also helps. What I could have done here, I could have done a technique that I call book shelving. I would bring mom to one side, dad to the end, and put the kids in the center, right? So they would work like a bookend type of thing, okay? And let's say we'd put like mom facing that way, dad facing that way. I mean, kind of facing that way, still looking at the camera, maybe 45 degrees, and the kids in the center. That will also work pretty well. Or bring mom and dad to the center. I think I have one more of them. Another thing is get them to laugh. Get them, it's a fun family, crack some jokes, and they're going to laugh. All right? And you tell them to laugh, look at each other. Ha, 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 let's go. And they just do that. Right? And see how they look in different directions. They're not looking everybody in the same direction. The daughter is looking at the little boy look at daughter, mom is looking at dad, the other son is looking at dad also. All right, so these are the things that make a difference when you create those pictures, right? But key things here, let's go over like quick summing up so we can finish this high. Summing up. Read the crowd. The vibe of the crowd is going to tell you your pictures need to match the vibe of the crowd, right? You don't want to get like a fun group, just like all serious and tight and stuff. Now, if they're fun, do some serious ones, but let them have fun. So read the vibe. It's important to read the vibe of the group to know what you're going to do. Gain control over the situation. Get there. If you need to be loud, clap your hands, gain control, make everybody, speak a little bit softer so you don't have to project your voice too much. Don't try to yell more than them because they are larger numbers and stuff. If they're not collaborating, you just stop talking and watching them. Somebody will stop and say, hey guys, pay attention, and they will stop, and then we start. Don't fight there, right? If you have room, use a long lens so you can zoom in, compress the background, bring the background closer, brings the background closer to them. All right? Don't let them hug each other. Remember, no arms, not good. At least one arm showing. Okay? Anchor the main subject. If it's family, mom and dad in the center. If just mom is the center, guys. Always start with mom. Mom, you stay here. Everybody floats around her. Okay? This is what it is. If posing guys, create some formation. You always shoot a little bit lower than the eye level so they can look taller and stronger. Okay, and last but not least, watch for hands and fingers popping up from nowhere. You have to deal with that in Photoshop, and they are not fun to deal with, I'll tell you. So was this useful to you? Good Lord, 9 o'clock. Was this useful to you guys? If yes, hit the heart button there. Let me see if I'm just wasting my time. Keon, the creator, welcome. You got to the end here, brother. Was this useful to you guys? Did it help a little bit? You guys have any questions? No? Nothing? All right. The hearts are coming up. Good. Thank you. All right, guys. This is all I have for tonight. 2 things that I want to say. Thing number 1, before we go. On Wednesday, we're going to keep the posing theme. Wednesday, we're going to go downstairs. Which lens do you use? It depends. If I have room, I'm using the 7200 and zooming in to get that background compression. If I don't have room, I'm usually shooting with a 2470. It all depends how much room I have to shoot the group and how big the group is. Okay? So 2 things before we go. One thing, on Wednesday, we're going to be doing a live shooting. Dan is going to be at home. Dan is going to be my model. And we're going to do posing females. Write your question about posing females. We're going to go downstairs and do a live on posing. Just posing. I may take some pictures, maybe do some lighting, depending on how much time we have, but I'm going to give you everything you need to know about posing females. That's important thing number one. So put on your calendars, invite your friends, tell your friends that this live is happening, because I know a lot of people, a lot of photographers struggle with posing, and you're going to talk about posing, and you're going to talk about what goes hand in hand? Directing. So you're going to see me posing, you're going to see me directing, and I'm going to tell you why I do the way I do. Okay, that's number one. Thing number two, in my bio up there is a link to our form. Please, 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 please remember the result of these lives in posing are happening because you guys told me in the form what your struggles were. So do not forget the questionnaire. Please go up there once you leave the live, click on my bio and fill up the question. The questionnaire is for me to help you. I need to learn from you what your needs are, so I can bring those lives, I can bring my articles to you to help you to create that amazing and desirable photography, right? Because it's all about being desired, because the market is full. The question that I want to pose to you is, everybody keeps complaining, oh, it's saturated, market saturated, market saturated. My question back to you is, what are you doing about it? You're going to sit down, complain, and do nothing? It's not going to do anything for you. The only way you can separate yourself from everybody else is to be different, be unique. Just for you to have an idea, just a little detail here. We are at the end of January. Today is what, 31st? Today is the last day of January. I have 2 or 3 dates for wedding this year. I'm all booked up. 5 weddings booked for next year already. This is the beginning of the year. It's because I'm great, I'm fantastic? Well, because I'm different. That's all. That's all. Because we are different. And if you want to have a full agenda, if you want to be busy with your photography, you need to be different. And that's what I'm teaching you, how to be different, right? But in order to do that, I need you guys to go up there and fill up that questionnaire, because I need to know what you don't know so I can show you here, all right? So, homework for you. Fill up the questionnaire there for us, okay? Thank you so very much, guys. I went way over the time today. That timer is not doing anything for me anymore. Thank you so much, guys, for your patience. Thank you so much for being here. Tell your friends about our channel. Bring your friends over here, because people are learning a lot. And I get my DMs. I get people thanking me all the time for helping them to do this type of stuff. And we want to help more people. So, thank you so very much. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support every week here with me. And I will see you on Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about how to pose female. And by the way, don't forget the questionnaire. Bye.